Hey everybody, pen name Jay here, and I told you I'll be back with another comic catch-up. This time I'm still doing Hunger, so let's get up to the second part, which I will be just calling the Silver Surfer because they introduced the Silver Surfer in this issue. So let's just dive in right now. We start off seeing the ultimate version of the Silver Surfer, and he's just chilling out in space, just lying down on his board. He talks about how he is a searcher. Now, searcher for who? Nobody, really. He just goes around. He's mainly an explorer, exploring most of the realities in space. And he says out of all the places that he's been to, this place here in the Ultimate Universe is the most loneliest place. It has been months since he's seen anybody. So yeah, it doesn't really sound too nice for him right now. Now, going back to Rick, Rick is dealing with Galactus. And Galactus is just, well, sending out his swarm of, his swarm. His robotic Galactus swarm that merged with him. And he was like, "Go, my swarm. Give me my food, yes." So, of course, Rick is like, "Okay, I'm going to take you down." So he comes in and he starts trying to fight him off, and it doesn't really work out too well. Then, of course, the Silver Surfer rolls right in and grabs Rick's hand and is like, "Hello, Rick Jones, how are you?" And he's like, "How do you know I'm Rick Jones?" "I am cosmically aware. I know who you are." He's like, "Well, who are you?" "Well, let's make this a little simple." Taps his head. He's like, "I know everything now. How did you do that?" "You too are cosmically aware." Now, that's not how the conversation went, but, skip that part. I'm trying to speed you guys along. So now the Watcher tells Rick Jones that it is his time to save everybody. So now Rick Jones is like coming up and he's trying to fight and he's not really doing so well. So the Silver Surfer says, "Well, this man recognizes me, so I'm going to try to talk to him." And he's like, "Yes, I recognize you. You are, in my world, you're a nuisance." And he's telling him, "Please, stop." He's like, "You know it's in my nature to eat and feed. This is the only way that I can survive," says Galactus, of course. And, of course, he's like, "Well, you are using machines. You are using things that were man-made." Now, man-made, like living people made. And, of course, he's like, "I do not care where they came from. They are serving my purpose. I need to consume to survive. These guys do it for the program. I do this so that I can live another day." So now both of them are fighting off against these guys, and the Kree actually set off a chain reaction to the nearest star that they were in, where Galactus was, and it caused a mass explosion. Now, before it can wipe everybody out, the Silver Surfer and Rick both escaped, well, barely escaped, opening up a portal back to Earth. Now, one of the little problems at this situation right now is that when they open up the portal, a little bit of the robots have came back and they're taking over people. And the Silver Surfer says, "You have doomed us all." And to be continued. Now, a little bit of a review type of thing, looking at it. The second issue was very interesting just because it got me pumped up for the first issue. But between those two issues, in a hindsight, I knew I waited a little too long between the issues. But it was a good transition to jump into the next part. So it was very interesting to read what was going on. Now, the second issue kind of explains what's going on in the Ultimates right now as I am speaking, whenever this recording date comes out. It kind of explains how they are in their predicament. But aside from all of that, it is a good comic. The story is still well paced out, just because you don't know certain characters like the Silver Surfer, which you don't need a background on because there's not much that the Silver Surfer has done in the Ultimate Comics that's noteworthy. Rick Jones, the only thing that you have to look back on is the previous issue, which I talked about, and Spider-Man, when Peter Parker meets up with Rick Jones after he wakes up from his coma. Pretty much that's all you really need to know about that. And anywho, this is about it. I'm going to go up to issue 3 and tell you guys the truth. You guys still won't need to wait. See you guys later.